Check, check, 1, 2. Well, the regular season is over, so that means this is playoff hockey. Game 1 of the ICSHL Division II playoffs, where the number 1 seed, your Kennett Blue Demons, are about to take on the Oxford Hornets, who finished in the 4 seed. Pleasant good evening and welcome to our coverage of Kennett hockey. Alongside Swith and Shortledge, I'm Ed Henry. Swith, this is exciting stuff. Playoff hockey.
It is. We haven't had this at Kennett for a number of years here, so happy to be back. We have 4 officials, 2 referees, and 2 linesmen, so double the amount of eyes on the ice to keep things under control with the players, so looking forward to a good game.
And as always, we have Mr. Mott, our cameraman extraordinaire, helping us out here at the broadcast. So Kennett has faced Oxford a number of times this year. It started off with a preseason game at Chester County where Kennett lost to the Oxford Hornets, I believe by a score of 3-1 or 3-2. And that kind of set a little bit of a tone for a bit of a rivalry between these two teams throughout the season. We faced them 4 times. We faced them in our season opener, where Kennett defeated Oxford by a score of 3-1 back on November 7th. We faced them mid-season on January 9th, where Kennett just barely edged them out in an overtime win by a score of 5-4. Then we played them again just a few games later for what was our senior recognition night, where Oxford played the Spoilers and ended up defeating Kennett by a score of 3-1. And then we faced them in the final game of the season on February 16th, where Kennett took the win again by a score of 5-3. So these teams are fairly evenly matched, and they've kind of traded it back and forth.
Yeah, despite the records, I think Oxford finished just below 500, and I think Kennett was, 12-5-1 maybe? That sound about right?
Yes.
I think Oxford only won 7 games, but I expect a very even matchup. This could go either way tonight, so.
And if anybody's listened to the broadcast before, I know one of the things that we had commented was a lot of times in this high school division, you'll have a big range of talent on a team. You'll have teams like Sun Valley that has 2 or 3 players that are absolute superstars, and then you'll have a few players in the middle, and then you'll have some on the bottom end who aren't necessarily the best players on the ice. This Oxford team has a very short bench, and while you could arguably say that Brody Ford is their superstar, they're pretty even across, which makes them a dangerous team.
Yeah, absolutely. They're solid. Their 2 lines are solid, so there's really not a obvious weakness here. So Kennett has to come out, play every shift.
And with that, that'll lead us right into our keys of the game, brought to you by High Impact Fitness. They're looking for a fast start. I think it's very important to set the tone, to come out there and put the first score up on the board. Also looking for that team effort, every shift, every period. This is playoff hockey, so it's win tonight or your season's done. So if Kennett wants to continue and make it to the championship game tomorrow evening at 9 o'clock, then the road to that championship game is through Oxford. And then finally, what I think has become as we've said, a master key of the game, because it's pretty commonly brought up in almost every game this year, is they're looking for 12-plus shots each period, and Zach Keenan, who is a very good goalie in the net for Oxford, you got to get him moving side to side. If you're just going to take shots right at him, he's going to save it every time.
Yeah, he's played really well against Kennett this year, all 4 games. I've been impressed with his calmness and the way he takes up space in the net. He's solid.
I know Zach played at Chester County a couple years, and of course, I always think back on Zach because he had a really cool goalie helmet with Empire Strikes Back on it. So
you're a sucker for Star Wars, aren't you?
Scratches for tonight for Kennett, only 1. Number 5, Luke Ganley. I understand he's not feeling very well, and I'm sure they're probably at home watching, so we wish Luke the best. Your team will definitely miss not having you here in this one. And then for Oxford, scratch number 71, Shane Campbell. I know we talked about this in one of the previous ones. Shane was one of 2 players that had broke a collarbone. And to where number 10, Chris Tatum, is back in the lineup. Shane was out for the season.
Yep.
So pregame skate has completed. Both teams are heading to their bench where they'll get some last-minute instruction. And then we will get this game underway.
When Kennett's had all their players this year, there have been some consistent lines going. Here without Ganley, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Cucinotta does, how he fills that wing slot on Mott and Fisher's line.
Yeah, I know that, as we refer to them, the freshman line really did play well together. And it's going to be interesting to see how they do that with that little bit of off balance.
Yep. Hopefully they can slot somebody in there that fits right in. It seemed like one of the things about that line is they seemed to know where each other are and where they were going to be, and they moved the puck really well. Let's see what we can find here to replicate some of that.
Both teams head out to center ice. As Swithin mentioned earlier, this is being playoff hockey. We've got 4 officials. It's like Cucinotta, Showers, and Mott. Tommy Schillinger and Nate Kelly on the defense. We are underway. Puck on that goes in on Zach Keenan. Kennett goes to work in the offensive zone. Oxford tries to move it up the boards. Nothing there, so they'll have to go the other direction. Brody Ford backhands up to the line. That got past Nate. Tommy Schillinger's got to chase it all the way down. As always for Kennett, the 31 Aiden Mott is between the pipes. Cut off there, dangerous play. Luckily it got through. Schillinger through center ice. He'll dump it in the far corner. Kennett goes in on the attack. Lucas Mott in the corner. That gets by him, and Fedorov will chip it to center ice. He's looking to go to Trent Keenan, but that was behind him. Back in the neutral zone. Oxford will put it in the near corner. So they'll make some player changes. Step out in front, got a shot. Not sure if that got through, deflected to the corner. Clearing attempt there, got knocked down. They'll send it to the other side. Ryan Vitale for Oxford was in on that play. Along the boards, Fisher will move it out to center ice. Chop through the middle, goes off of a few. Fisher's able to get around one, but it's knocked off of his stick by Ford. Puck rolled around in the corner. DeWitt comes to pinch in there. Fisher takes it off, but good defensive play there from Oxford, forces it out to the middle. Matthew Hayes tied up along the boards. Puck was in their skates. Nobody saw it for a moment. Hayes will finally lift it the length of the ice. And it looks like that'll go all the way down for an icing.
So it looks like, what do we have? Fisher centering Shortledge and DeWitt for the second line. We've got Cucinotta out with Kelly and Vitale.
Yeah, I don't know if coach is just trying to find a good combination, or if he's just kind of rolling things until he see what really works. Cucinotta pulls it off the boards, and he'll put it up to the middle.
Or no, I think Cucinotta's back on D for this shift. It looks like Neiman's out with Vitale and Kelly.
Moves it all the way around, comes up to the point. Eddie Henry's able to keep it in momentarily, finally forced out, but right back in. Oxford will look to outlet. Over to Fedorov. She'll feed it up to center ice, goes off the skates of Keenan. And Colin Kelly picks it up in the middle, and he stood up by Madonna.
I think Colin had Madonna beat wide there. Madonna got his feet tangled, but Kelly cut back into the middle and stepped right into him.
All the way behind. Mott comes to set that down. He'll send it around. They come together along the boards. Still kept in, at least momentarily. Cucinotta's got it right now. He's got to circle back. Look for some open space. But along the boards, deflected there, but still in the zone. Sido jumps on it. He tries to go down, but Cucinotta stays with him. He tries to center it. Mott was looking for that. And we get a whistle and a tripping call. We'll wait to see.
Yeah, Vitale was down on the ice there, and he was reaching out to try to get the puck, but whenever you're down on the ice like that, it's much easier to actually trip someone and for the ref to call it.
So Oxford will go to the first power play of this game. As Nick Vitale will sit for 2 minutes for tripping. Face off one up to the point. Puck gets deflected, but able to keep it in. Saido tries to go in front, hits traffic in front. That was Schillinger who blocked that.
That shot hurt Mott from Ford. He's limping out there. He needs to get a change.
Tied up in the corner. Puck gets past, and Kennett's able to clear it all the way down. Lucas Mott will head to the bench. Brody Ford looks to head up ice. Gets the shot. That goes way up and over everything into the netting, and we'll get a whistle. Just over 13 and a half to go in this first period. Minute 25 remaining on the Vitale tripping minor.
I think Oxford led the league this year in regular season and power play goals. I think they had like 19 or 20. So this is not something Kennett wants to do, is put them on the man advantage.
Face-off win. Schillinger cleared up, but the Oxford's right down in there. High-rising shot goes in the glass and up and out of play. Was off of Oxford stick, so they'll bring that face-off out to the neutral zone. Good play back. Cucinato will wait, and he'll send it all the way down. If the minor has ticked away, goes up through center ice. Keenan checked as he crossed the line. Puck forced down to the corner. Backhand around, but nothing but maroon jerseys there for it. Brody Ford over to Saido. He'll put one in towards the net. That one gets waffled up and over. Puck right out in front. And Oxford makes the power play goal. And leads the game 1-0. Sitting right there in the slot.
Yeah, came around from behind the net, and Keenan found the soft spot in the slot. Puck came right to him and put it in.
Battled for there in the neutral zone. Oxford's able to chip it in, but not too far. Fisher's able to pick it up, and he'll skate down low the net. Puts on the brakes. All the way up. Get it to Shortledge off of his stick, but he stays with it. Gets past Fedorov. Shortledge feeds across, gets it to DeWitt, but he really couldn't get much of a shot, just directed it towards the net. Oxford heads in the zone. Tried to put on the brakes, ended up blowing a tire. So they dig for it in the near corner. And comes out behind. Oxford puts it right in the middle, but nobody was there. DeWitt makes a move and moves out to the neutral zone. Has to step around the linesman, which lost possession there. Brody Ford heads back in. Chopped out, moved to the middle. Fedorov goes across, tries to put it in, was deflected, but came right back out. Now from behind. Eddie Henry looked to go all the way up to the blue line, but kept in. Back in the corner once again. Dig for it there. Fedorov's able to direct it down low, got it to the other Fedorov. Puck right in the middle. Eddie Henry's there, and he's able to bank it. It'll go the length of the ice. That'll be an icing.
It's early, and it's been disrupted a little bit by the penalty, but Kennett doesn't seem connected right now. not many good passes, not much puck possession time.
Face-off directed back behind. Tommy Schillinger's there to pick it up. Goes up to Neiman. Neiman gets a stick on it, directing it through. Rolls towards the net. Saido's there. Pick it up. Hill outlet. Over the blue line. Nice drop pass there, but puck sat there. Big save by Mott. Neiman will direct it back down below. Nate Kelly's there. Goes up the boards. Is handcuffed a little bit was Vitale, but he was able to direct it into the Oxford end. Out to the middle. Trent Keenan steps in, takes the shot. Schillinger blocks that. Working the corner, comes up the boards, but right to the middle. Schillinger has it, and he'll skate out. Gains the red line and puts it in and heads off on a change. Saido gets around Vitale up to the line, but Nate Kelly chops it back down low. Showers tried to get to it, but he overskates that.
I think that was a hook, Ed. Keenan hooked his arms, is why he missed it. Ref missed that one.
So 9:38 here in the first period. Kennett trails by 1. He's off in there. Mott gets it over to Cucinotta. He's in across the line. Tries to chip it to the middle. Got blocked there by Ford, so he'll just roll it down low. So Mott's going to go. I'm waiting to see if it's a roughing or boarding. Referees are having a conversation.
I think that's going to be a 2 and a 10.
Oh, so that's definitely, so he's going to get a 5-minute major and a game misconduct.
He's out for tonight, and if we win, he's out tomorrow too.
That is correct. So Keenan's back on the bench, which is good to see that he's not injured from that, but that's a huge blow for Kennett. So Cameron Brown will serve the penalty. And Oxford now has a 5-minute major power play, which those who don't know means they can score at will. They get a full 5 minutes regardless of what happens in the game. Puck was moved out to the center. Cucinotta's pestering Ford, trying to not allow him a clean entry, and Ford will just chip it in behind. And it moves up to Kelly. He'll make sure it gets out to center ice. Saido from the red line makes a move, loses an edge as he heads in. Kennett's able to pick up the loose puck and send it all the way down. All the way up, goes in, gets by everybody. Schillinger was first one to it, so he'll send it right back down into the Oxford end. Saido sends it all the way across, looking for Ford. Colin Kelly, who's trying to keep him pinned back there. Again, they're just looking to get as much time off this penalty as possible. Up to Saido, he pulls it up out of his skates and steps in across the blue line. And Henry stays with him into the corner. Puck rolls and sits there, chopped towards the boards. Kelly leans on him. Fedorov hits it. It goes off a body. And Kennett's able to move it up to the line, but not out. Shot there goes all the way up into the netting and out of play.
Well, I think it would be an understatement to say this is not how Kennett wanted to start.
Absolutely
start
not.
You know, I'm a little surprised that they called a 5-minute on that. Definitely it was boarding a 2 and a 10-minute misconduct, but I think a 5 is usually reserved for an injury or something
intent to
so
injure.
egregious. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a good hit. I admit that, but
Witt picks
I
it
don't
up
know.
after, puts it to the middle, gets it to Colin Kelly. He's stood up by Keenan. Ford streaks down the right wing, tries to cut to the middle to get through traffic. Puck kind of drifted in there, got all the way to the corner. Goes up to Fedorov at the blue line. She'll go down. That was red there. Eddie Henry will clear it all the way down. Zach Keenan comes out to set it up for Brody Ford. Ford directs near side, but is able to get Heinzelman. Moved it back out to the middle. Trent Keenan from the blue line. Active stick there, forces it out. Cucinato with it. He's got a couple players. He gets around them. There's the puck down in the corner. He gets shouldered there. Fisher comes in to support. Puck still loose. Cucinato with it. He'll go back up to Heinzelman at the blue line. He's able to keep it in. Puts one towards the net, but hits a skate and heads to the corner. Some offensive opportunity for Kennett being short. Madonna with speed goes wide, goes all the way behind. Checked there by Fisher. Puck right to the middle. That gets by everybody and comes out to the neutral zone. Under 2 minutes remaining on the 5-minute major penalty to Mott. Oxford puts it to the blue line, but Heinzelman was able to read that, and he'll send it all the way back behind where Keenan has to set it up. Saito's there. He's got Fisher with him. He checks there along the board. Saito moves across the blue line, takes the shot. Eden will squeeze that in the midsection and hang on. 5:47 to go here in the first period. Kennett trails by 1 and has a minute 26 remaining to kill off. All the way across to Saito at the blue line. He's got nothing there, so he'll just chip it. Hayes is there, and he'll put it off the glass and send it the length of the ice. Keenan comes out to play it. He'll wrap it all the way here near side. Goes off the boards, and Trent Keenan has it. Moves through center ice. Gains the blue line, then runs into a few bodies, but Oxford still has possession. They go across looking for Fedorov. He's bumped down, but stays with it. Tries to direct it way down low. Puck sits there in the blue paint. Good read there from Hayes to keep that out of harm's way. 45 seconds now remaining on the major penalty. Keenan feeds it in. Eddie Henry's there. He moves it out to the middle to get it to Colin Kelly, but he lost an edge. I don't know if it's the ice or if nobody sharpened their skates. There seems to be quite a few players who are having a trouble keeping their edges.
oh, it is slippery out there.
It's the nature of the ice, I guess. Brody Ford with speed through. Chips it down to the left wing. Picks it up himself. Goes behind. Final few seconds of this penalty. Wind-up shot there. Big save, rebound. Second opportunity comes in on Mott, and he'll hang on. 2 seconds remaining on the major penalty.
Ford looks a little shaken up in the corner. He got tangled up with 2 Kennett players. He's staying out there, but he doesn't look comfortable right now.
That's the thing is that, again, we talk about the talent on the Oxford team, but having a short bench definitely pays a toll on them after a while. Puck bouncing around in skates right in the slot. Nobody's able to get to it. Nate Kelly's finally able to bank it out to center ice. Ford will chip it up to the blue line. Fedorov has it. Trying to get past Schillinger, but forced into the corner. And Kelly goes along the boards. Cucinotta centers it for Fisher. Fisher gets it all the way across. Vitale puts it in on Keenan. He'll glove that and hang on.
Is that the first shot on net for Kennett, you think, Ed?
I think that they got a initial shot in the opening face-off, but that might be the second if the third, they're lucky. But that was a huge for Kennett to kill off that 5-minute major penalty. Hopefully they can pick up some momentum from that. Schillinger tried to backhand it, got just enough of it, forcing Keenan in the corner. Otherwise, he might have had a breakaway. All the way to the other side. Don is in the corner. Kennett outlets. He gains center ice and put it in. Keenan will stick it there. Fedorov came in to make a play. He's got Vitale there, but Ford ends up with it, and he'll lift it high in the center ice. Kelly got a stick on it, but Ford picks up the loose puck and steps in. Gets the shot. Huge save there for Mott. Directed out to the middle. Off of DeWitt. He again chips it to the side. Body for the puck, but everybody overskates. Keenan goes the other direction. Hayes tries to deflect him, bounces up and around. It stays behind the net. Ford over to it. Keenan in the corner. DeWitt tries to outlet. Second opportunity there with the help from Colin Kelly. Finally moves it down. Fedorov skates behind. Gets checked there by Colin Kelly, but able to move it up to Jake Marker. Marker will go across ice. Fedorov tried to lead it to Keenan, but nothing there. Puck goes up into the Kennett bench, and that'll get whistled. Just over 2.5 to go here in this first period. Kennett trails by 1.
I don't know if it's part of the game plan or it's just happening, but I've seen it happen many times that it seems to be a trend. Kennett's getting the red line and dumping it in and making the Oxford defense turn around and go get it. I think that's a reasonable strategy with only 3 defensemen. Chipping it deep and then forechecking and making the defensemen skate back and go get pucks in the corner.
Sat there in the middle. They still battle for it. It's finally forced out over the blue line through center ice. Someone tried to get to that. Big blast there from the blue line. Mott makes that save. Second opportunity was headed wide, but he kicks it aside. Diving into the corner there. Oxford player goes all the way through, gets up to the blue line. Ford's got it there. He'll put it towards the net, hits a body in front. DeWitt will bank it up. That'll roll on edge. And no, it'll die before it reaches icing. Fedorov will pick it up from behind the net. Roll it across for Ford. And he'll skate through center ice. Lost it momentarily, but catches back up. Able to chip it to the circle. Kennett moves it up to the blue line and finally out. Ford puts one in hard. Mott comes out to set that down. Schillinger puts it up the boards. Gets it to Shortledge. He centers it for Showers. Sends it over for DeWitt. Oh, nope, Cameron Brown. Back the other direction. And across the line. Tries to get a shot off from Oxford, but it gets deflected. Schillinger in the corner. Over for Shortledge. He tries to lift it up. It looks like it hit something. Still in the zone. Batted around, sits in the middle. Schillinger skates it aside. Keenan tries to make the move. Ends up going off what looked like the outside of the net. Kennett will reverse it near side. He's racing down to it. Puck still in the zone. Kennett will send it the length of the ice. And that will go wide, so that'll be an icing. Down under 30 seconds remaining in this first period. Face-off won by Oxford. Fedorov gets checked at the line. Cucinotta almost had an opportunity, but Oxford got just enough to chip there from Ford to keep that away from Cucinotta. He picks it up, and he'll skate in. Gets the shot in on Keenan, who will glove it and hang on. Seven seconds remaining in this first period.
Ford's like the NHL defenseman. Like, I don't want to compare him to Chara, but he's very tall out there, and he plays almost the whole game. He's got a big...
There's the buzzer ending this first period. So 17 minutes in the books of this playoff game one. Kennett finds himself trailing by 1. So all things considered, I think Kennett's fortunate to be only down by 1 goal. I mean, they gave up the power play goal. As you mentioned, they seemed a little disjointed, but to give up a 5-minute major penalty and lose one of your better players on the team, that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go so far as to say one of your best players.
Oh, without a doubt.
Not just better, but he's been a catalyst for the offense all year, Mott. I think he's tied with the team lead in points with Cucinotta. Yeah, that's a big blow. I think the only thing that went right for Kennett in that first period was that they did not allow a goal on that 5-minute power play, but everything else, if I'm the coach, I'm telling them to flush that period down the toilet, forget about it, got to start new, because they had nothing going that period.
You know, the other part, too, is that, and it's not a reason to change what is the right call, but I know a lot of times when you get late in the season or playoffs, referees will try not to do something to basically get a player suspended, unless it's absolutely deserved. Like, I've seen an instance to where, you know, they get frustrated and somebody will throw a punch where the referee could very easily make it a fighting major, but they'll give them a double minor.
Yeah.
Realizing that, you know,
yeah,
if I give you that, then you're done.
Yeah, I think the referees were trying to wait and see what the result of that hit was. I mean, I think if it's an injury and the player has to leave the ice, like,
oh, absolutely,
it has to be a 5-minute major. But Keenan, again, it was a bad check, and that was definitely a penalty. But I'm not sure that it was warranted a 5. Definitely 2 and 10, but.
Second period action about to get underway. Puck is down. Here we go. Oxford gets in the zone, gets the first shot off. Mott's able to make the save and drop right on top of the rebound and hang on. Fisher in to take this draw. Oxford wins it back. They step to the slot, get the shot there. Puck sat there, but Cucinotta was able to move it to the boards. DeWitt moves it out the center ice. Ford has it there and shovel it over to Marker. Marker tried to get a shot or a pass off, but that was cut off. Up to the blue line, kept there. Fisher will roll it back to Schillinger because there's a lot of traffic in front. Schillinger will send it the other direction and reverse it. Cucinotta pulls it off the wall and goes right back to Tommy Schillinger. Two of them will play catch. Goes over Cucinotta's stick. He gets checked. Shortledge will leave it for Fisher. Chips it up over the line, but Saito was able to do it, and he'll put it in. Oxford's got a touch up. I love delayed offsides. Outlet pass goes off a skate and comes right back. Fisher gets checked by Marker. Jake comes away with the puck. Rolled all the way around. Keenan sends it up to the point. Saito directs it, goes the side of the net. Mott covers that up, and he'll take the whistle.
It's another frustrating shift for Kennett there. I think Oxford's just playing a 1-2-2, meaning one player on the puck and then dropping 2 back, and then the 2D are at the blue line. And Kennett had no answer to get around that. We spent the whole shift in our zone, and that certainly helps Oxford. Didn't have to spend much energy and spend a minute and a half of the game.
Hayes is able to go bounce it off the boards all the way through the neutral zone. Oxford has to come back. They get to the line. Saito gets checked at the blue line, and Fedorov's able to step in. Puts it right through the blue paint. Nobody there. Hayes to Vitale. Cross center ice, and he'll chip and chase. Vitale in on Saito. Comes up along the wall. Kelly puts one towards the net. Even tried to get to it for a deflection, but nothing there. Hayes back to the slot. Puck knocked around. Puck goes behind the net. Oxford will go up the near side boards, up to the blue line and out. Trent Keenan across the line. Hayes throws out the leg, and that'll be a tripping call. Delayed penalty here against Kennett. Finally touch up, and there's the whistle. So 14:40 here, and it's got to go back to the penalty kill. Puck up along the boards. Henry, but Vitale tries to get all the way across, steps in, takes the shot, but it goes up and over the net. Puck to the middle, they go up to the line. Ford's able to keep it there. It's across to Fedorov, puts it towards the net, deflects, ends up going behind. Heinzelman's there. Leans on an Oxford player, but it gets back to Marker. Marker from behind the net, he'll bank it up for Ford. Ford winds up, gets the shot, big save there from Mott. All the way to the other side. Keenan's checked there by Heinzelman, but able to move it back up to Fedorov. Fedorov steps to the middle, gets it over to Ford. Ford tries to go in, he takes the shot, it goes up over the net. Back to Keenan. Keenan gets tied up there. Kennett's going to be short another player. Heinzelman's going to go for another trip, so minute 7 remaining on the first penalty. So Oxford's got more than a minute of 5-on-3.
So I think, let's see, 2, 5, 7, 9, 10. So Oxford's already had 10 minutes of power play time in this game, Ed. This is not a recipe for success.
Fed all the way across looking for Ford. He gets down below the goal line. Circles all the way back around. He tries to stay with him. He loses it, but able to keep it in. Back across for Saito. He's got to go and retrieve it. Back for Ford. Ford steps in, takes the shot. Mott gloves that and hangs on. Minute 32. Still remaining on the Heinzelman minor. 38 seconds on the Hayes tripping. Down low, Kuchinat is there. He's able to get to it. Checked by Keenan, but Oxford gets called for, looks like a hand pass. So they'll bring that face-off out to the neutral zone. Face-off pushed all the way down into the Oxford end. Brody Ford has it, and he'll come up with speed. Through the middle and in, but they come in offsides.
I think that's interference, too, from Fedorov on Kelly there. He set a moving pick, and you can't do that. Called him for offside, at least, but...
So neutral zone draw here. Kelly's able to get a stick and send it back down to the Oxford end.
That's a good play by Kelly on the face-off to slap it forward and kill some time.
In the zone, Saito forced down low. Looks to get it up to Keenan. Keenan sends it all the way across, gets deflected. They have to go up to Ford at the blue line, goes back over. To get it to Saito, he has to settle it down. Tries to get it through the blue paint. Good work there from Tommy Schillinger to read that and send it all the way down. First penalty has expired. So 5-on-4 for the next 38 seconds. Kuchinada from his blue line. He'll skate to the red line and into the Oxford end, gets around a few, takes the shot there. Zach's got to make the save and then dive out to cover up the rebound.
Good rush by Kuchinada. Kennett needs some more of that here. I understand it's been disjointed with all the penalties, but I understand the plan to chip it, but Kennett needs to start making some plays here to even this game up.
Oxford wins the draw. They move out to the neutral zone. Kuchinada checks Vitale. Comes back to Ford. He's got to go around a few. Haza came very close to getting another tripping minor right there.
Yeah, I could see this game, Ed, as it gets later on, if the game's decided. I could see some, I don't know what the right word is. I could see it getting a little bit out of hand here.
So puck sits there along the board. Fisher tries to come in and take it, has to go back into traffic. All the penalties have expired, so 5-a-side hockey, at least for now. Back in the Kennett end. He picks it up. He'll lift it all the way through center ice. It goes all the way down just wide of the net, so that'll be icing.
I think Ford touched that. He tipped it down with the stick. That should have negated the icing. That's what the coaches are protesting, that referees aren't listening.
So you think 4 sets of eyes might see that, but
yeah, I thought it was pretty clear, but
face-off goes all the way down between them. Kennett's racing to get to it. Shortledge will be the first one there. Stays with it from behind. Sends it all the way up to the line. Eddie Henry snaps the shot, gets in on net. Keenan struggles with it for a second, but he's able to cover up. So that's more of what Kennett needs to do, is really push the offense now that they're back to even strength and see if they can tie this up.
yeah, that was a good play by Shortledge. He got the puck in the corner. He didn't have anything. He went around behind the net, came out, made a cross-seam pass to Henry for a nice shot by Eddie.
Well, the boards got checked there. Goes up the line, but Fishers keeps it in. He'll put it towards the net. Ooh. Keenan has to play the bouncing puck. No one's forced all the way up into the neutral zone. Eddie Henry's first one there. He's got Madonna with him. Fisher takes it off the wall and skates out. 3-on-2 for Kennett if they hurry. Fisher steps in, cuts to the middle. He gets taken down. Kennett will get their first power play here.
I think they're getting 2 penalties here, Ed. Have both referees with their arms up.
So we got one at center ice is signaling the trip.
Okay. Usually only one referee. The referee calling the penalty is usually the only one that raises their hand. I saw them with both of their hands up, and I thought that meant they were going to have two penalties. Yeah. Well, I thought they were going to call the Oxford player there for the hit on Shortledge in the corner once the trip was initially spotted, but
so power play opportunity here for Kennett as they look to tie this game up to the point. Kuchinada steps to the middle, all the way across to Fisher. He snaps one, but Keenan's able to glove that and hang on.
This is an unusual power play combination for Kennett just because of sickness and the loss of Mott here early. Kind of making things up here with.
Kuchinada's able to pull it off the wall, has to reach behind him. Oxford's able to send it the length of the ice. Almost an awkward play there. It was a lack of communication. Fisher will skate up and in. Throws on the brakes, goes up to the line. Kuchinada's there. We'll bank it over. Fisher with it once again. Back up to Kelly at the blue line. Kelly will snap one to the net. Kick save there. Second opportunity and in. So Kennett capitalizes on their power play to tie this game at 1.
Nice zone entry by Fisher and Cuccinata. Out to Kelly at the point. Nice wrist shot. Kennett crashed the net. Fisher made a nice inside-out move. And nice goal by Fisher. I understand Fisher's grandparents are watching tonight, so I hope they saw that. It was a great play by Ben. Nice zone entry. Nice rebound goal.
Cuccinata backhands over to Schillinger. And just drop it there, Cuccinata, and he'll skate through the neutral zone and in. Cuccinata goes wide, takes the shot. Second opportunity. Big rebound and shot there, goes up and over. Keenan made the initial save. All the way over the glass and around. Cuccinata will pinch down low to keep that in. Got by Shortledge behind the net, so Oxford moves it up to the line, but still kept in. Colin Kelly sailors it for Fisher. He takes the shot. Keenan makes the save and then covers up the rebound.
Wow, how things have turned this last 2 minutes. Kennett's been the team we were expecting from the start. They've got a little bit of jump in their step right now.
Heinzelman puts it towards the net. It just goes wide. Hagee races over to it. Got by him. Oxford moves it to the middle. Heinzelman from center ice puts it in the Oxford end. Ford cleared it, but back and forth. Ford with it now. Center ice. Brody Ford will skate in, chips it in. Tried to get it past Hayes, still stays with it. They battle for it, goes to the sideboards. Keenan with it. Puck goes to the middle. Heinzelman will grab it. He's at least able to move it out to the middle. Ford tries to come in. He's got multiple players all over him. Heinzelman banks it up, and it rolls out through the neutral zone. Keenan steps across the middle. He gets around one, gets the shot. Mott makes a kick save there. Rolled back behind. Jake Marker can't handle that. Heinzelman will bank it, but it goes off the ref. Heinzelman gets to it again. Second opportunity gets to Vitale, and he's able to move it over to DeWitt. DeWitt and Ford. DeWitt tries to get in front, gets the shot. Juggled with it, but Keenan holds on. DeWitt almost got it past Brody Ford, but
yeah, that all started with a nice play off the wall from Vitale. Vitale. He protected the puck, delayed, chipped it into the center to a streaking DeWitt, and I think that's something you'll see, Ed. I think Ford's been out there for probably 8 of the 10 minutes of this period. DeWitt was able to keep up with him, at least maybe even get around him just because of that. So or we have a line change problem here that
face off down to the corner. Ford will chip it up the near boards. Keenan's able to move it at least to center ice. He battled for it there in the neutral zone. Saito has to go back to pick it up. Got it to Ford. He tried to outlet, but it gets by everybody. That'll be an icing.
Mott was trying to be helpful and send the puck down the length of the ice to the linesman for the icing face-off, but there's so many referees on the ice. When he flipped it down, he almost hit one of the refs in the head.
Battle for it there. Puck sits there, but Brody Ford's able to get a stick on it. He'll skate out. Puck chopped out to the middle. DeWitt jumps on it. Tried to get past Keenan, but Saito, but active stick prevented that. Back and forth in the neutral zone. Henry gets pushed off the play along the blue line, but Fisher's able to pick up the loose puck to DeWitt. Over the blue line. Puts one in on net. Waffled aside there by Zach Keenan. Oxford moves out. Trent tried to center it, goes off a stick. Puck just sits there. Madonna steps in, takes the shot, tries to go far side, but misses the net. On the way there, Kate Shortledge is able to chip it all the way down into the Oxford end, and it will make some player changes. Ford across the blue line, gets the shot. That one goes wide. Puck rolls the middle, right back to Ford. Tries to take the shot, but knocked away from him. Chopped that there, hits bodies in front, still sits in the slot. Second opportunity, goes off a skate. Eddie Henry will bank it. It'll go down to the blue line where Fedorov gathers up. Put to the middle. Eddie Henry gets a stick on it, tries to get over to Cucinotta. He'll reverse it around. And here goes up off the glass, out to the middle. Fedorov is checked there by Colin Kelly. He'll skate in his zone. Tries to go across. Madonna almost knocked that down. Second attempt goes off a skate. Colin Kelly from behind. He chips it up. Cucinotta's got to come back for it with Jake Marker there. Cucinotta's finally able to get some space. He'll send it all the way down. Was looking for Neiman. Got past him, so that'll be icing on Kennett. They'll bring that back down this direction. 5:33 to go here in this tied game. Second period.
Kennett almost has a little bit too much energy right now, Ed. I think on a lot of those plays when you said there's the puck laying there all by itself, Kennett, all five players were tracking the puck and they were over pursuing. And when the puck goes the other direction, there's a big empty space where there's no Kennett player. So that's where they need to settle down and take their position instead of everybody tracking the puck.
Chipped out to the middle. Saito's got to come over to it. He's got a couple Kennett players there
so
with
we
him.
got three Kennett players forechecking one guy.
Out to the middle. Great shot there to Shortledge, but that shot goes wide. Kelly comes in, puts it, sits in the middle. Turnaround there, goes into the blue paint, but no Kennett player there to put a stick on it. Fisher rolls it back to the middle, was looking for Shortledge. He was turned around on the play, and Oxford's able to move it out to the middle. Fisher backhands in. He'll head off on a change. Hayes comes in, takes the shot. Zach will glove that and hang on.
Well, I complained about three Kennett players forechecking, and that was one of the better scoring chances they generated. They had Fisher and DeWitt got control of the puck and centered it to Shortledge, who one-timed it just wide.
So offensive zone opportunity for Kennett. Face off one over to Hagee. He'll backhand it down low. Up along the boards, it's kept there at least momentarily. Oxford's able to outlet it. Oxford steps into the zone, chops one in, goes down behind the net. They'll reverse it for Fedorov. He gets leaned on by Schillinger. Kuchnot is there to try and help. Schillinger gets to the showers, goes to Hagee, bounces right to the middle, comes right back to Hagee, and he's able to clear the zone. You know, and Ford, he's got to make the move. He'll go all the way across. Schillinger's there for it, and he'll move it back into the Oxford end. Fedorov tries to put on the brakes, but Showers is able to take a chop at that. Puck sits there. Kelly makes the move, cuts through a bunch, gets the shot in on Keenan. He looked behind him for a second, but he had it in his equipment. Colin Kelly will come out to take this one. Looks like he's got Neiman and Vitale up front with him. Heinzelman and Henry back on defense. Face off one. Back by Kennett. Got to Henry. Ends up on Ford's stick, and he'll skate out of the zone. Ford tries to chip past. Henry races over to stay with him. Puck tied up underneath him. Colin Kelly gets, puck comes in the middle, still bouncing off a few skates. Neiman backhands through, got by everybody. Heinzelman puts it in from the red line. Ford from behind, he'll bank it hard off the glass, goes all the way down. They look to try and get to Keenan. He fortunately had to go down to pick up the puck. Otherwise, he was actually behind the defense. Puck rolls off the glass, gets by everybody. Ford has it, he chips one towards the net. Second opportunity, Mott just builds the wall and keeps that puck out of the net. I think that was 3 shots in a row. Henry has it, he's checked, forced behind. Heinzelman will get to it. Heinzelman will skate it up, and he'll go all the way out. Finally gets checked at center ice. 2 Kennett players come together. Oxford looks to come in. Forced all the way down behind. They put it out in front. Second opportunity. Puck sat there. And Oxford was able to put it behind to take the 1-goal lead.
That was a very disjointed shift for Kennett. They were running into each other. That was just not good. I don't. Mott made a spectacular save though earlier in that shift. That 3, I think that one, I call it the scorpion save. He was on his stomach and he threw his leg out up in the air to stop one.
Puck chopped around at center ice. Fisher with it at his blue line, goes up to Shortledge. He's got to chase down the bouncing puck, had Saito with him. Fedorov is able to move it up, and they get it out center ice. Puck deflected all the way over. Kuchnada with it. Chips it up for DeWitt. DeWitt goes up, but Keenan cuts that off and comes in. Keenan goes all the way across, was looking for a player on the opposite side, but sits there. Fisher's able to put it out to the middle. Shortledge jumps on it and heads over the blue line. Puts it to the middle, goes off a skate, in on net. Keenan's able to move it to the corner. Fisher, Kuchnada at the blue line, takes the shot. That one rises up into the glass. Shortledge keeps it down low. DeWitt's there. Finally gets by all of them, and Oxford has the puck. They'll send it the length of the ice. Kelly's got a whack at it from his blue line. Was able to keep it in the zone. Caught up in his feet, can't get to it. Puck all the way down, and that'll be icing as we hit the 1-minute mark here in this second period, where Kennett trails Oxford 2-1.
Well, Fedorov had her stick in Nate's stomach, and then he kind of had it caught there, and the Kennett bench wants a hooking penalty on Fedorov, and the Oxford bench is upset. They want holding the stick on DeWitt. And
offsetting minors.
The referee looks at both of them and says, be quiet. There's no penalty. Just keep playing.
Sherwood gets it to the middle, tries to get it to DeWitt, but his stick was lifted. Kuchnada skates in from the blue line. Puts on the brakes. Cuts the middle up to the DeWitt. He's got to settle it. Gets it all the way over to Fisher. Fisher goes into the middle, but Oxford's able to send that down. Kelly backhands up. Fisher at the red line. Steps around one and in. Fisher takes the shot. Keenan will glove that and hang on. 27 seconds to go here in this second period. Kennett will have an offensive zone opportunity where they'll try to see if they can get the equalizer. Sits there. Fedorov's able to direct it down behind. Fisher tries to get to it. Up to the blue line where Schillinger will bank it back down. Beeman gets tied up. Kelly pulls it off the wall. Knocked away from him and out of the zone. Well, referee says no. It looked like it was out to me, but back into the middle. Second opportunity. They go, and there's the buzzer. Kennett was chopping away as the time was winding out. They had Keenan down, but time expires.
Well, overall, maybe starting with about 12 minutes left in the period, Kennett really came back and started playing this game. I'm glad to see they got it together. They had one bad shift here at the end, which resulted in the goal, but much better than the first.
So 17 more minutes of regulation. Kennett's going to look for the tying goal. We'll see what happens from there.
I almost don't recognize Heinzelman here. We lost one in the. I've said before, there's two types of people in the world: short hairs and long hairs. And Eric probably had a good foot or 18 inches of hair. Cut it all off last week or this week. So I was hoping it didn't have the Samson effect.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
That's where he got all his power, but he's played fine today. But sad to see that. It's long locks
you're missing the flow.
Yeah, I talked to him. Actually, I saw him. I guess it was this week or maybe it was last week, and we talked a little bit about cutting his hair, and I said, "So are you going to start growing it again?" He said, "Oh yeah." So get it cut. You're already looking at day number 2. I'm growing it.
I still have no idea what any of you were talking about with this hair thing. So there's the whistle from the referee. They look to get this game moving once again.
You know what I think we need more of?
Cowbell?
No. Roller derby.
Roller derby.
I saw something. You remember that as a kid? Like on Saturdays, they'd always have these crazy roller derby leagues where they'd have like jammers and breakers, and they had like these special roles, and if you had like a special thing on your helmet, then you could score the points. And it was kind of like pro wrestling, that it had to be fake. I mean, the way they kind of skated around and jumped into each other. I don't know. Anybody that's seen roller derby, I don't know how you can't watch it when you're flipping the channel and you see people skating around like a 50-foot track, just throwing their bodies into each other.
All right. They come out the center ice. Kennett wins that draw. Cucinotta steps around a couple and in. Forced down low as a stick lifted. Goes right to the middle. Was looking for Neiman, but he was checked there. Up along the boards. Tries to cut in. Kennett or Oxford goes in. Looks like they
1-1 Oxford.
couldn't try to get it over. Fedorov couldn't settle that down. Puck behind the net. Schillinger's there with that. He'll reverse it for Cucinotta, but that was out of his reach. Fedorov tries to step in behind. Puck sits there, comes on the outside of the net. Mott will cover up and take the whistle.
That's the danger. Down by 1, Kennett certainly needs Cucinotta and Schillinger or any other defenseman that can carry it to help out on the offense, but they got caught on a pinch there, and it was 2-on-1 opposite way, so I guess you have to take a little bit of risk here to get the reward, but you can't let Oxford score again, make it a 2-goal game.
All the way around for DeWitt. He lost it in his skates. Oxford's able to force it back down low in the Kennett end. He tries to chip it up the walls. Puck goes all the way across. He's there. He'll reverse it off the glass. Kelly banks it ahead, but that gets by everybody and will be icing.
I thought I read in the playoff rules for ICSHL that they were going to do ice cuts after every 2 periods. I was expecting them to do that here, but obviously they didn't. I'm not sure what I was reading. Maybe that's for like the final game or something. I don't know.
Kelly sends it all the way around. DeWitt's there. He's able to chip it. Tries to get past Ford. Ford wedged him off, which Brody picks it up, and he'll send it all the way around. Hayes there. Tries to keep it in, but can't settle it down. Move right to the line. Oxford all the way across. Back into the Kennett end. Kelly gets to the Shortledge. Shortledge able to move it to center ice. He gets around a couple, but loses possession of it there. Chips it in the zone. Ford goes back for it. Fake to the reverse. Stays with it. Cut off there by Colin Kelly. Colin Kelly's in. Tries to go all the way across. Was looking for either Fisher or DeWitt, but kind of missed both of them with that. Bouncing puck there. They battle for it. Kelly picks it up. Takes the shot. Keenan kicks out and makes a big save. Banked out through center ice. Nate Kelly. He'll step in the zone. Tries to cut all the way around. Sits behind. He's forced off of it by Ford. Ford directs it out to the neutral zone. Cucinotta makes the move at center ice. Cuts in. Stays with it. He's got several Oxford players. Finally loses control. Madonna will go the other direction. Chips out to the middle. Tally backhands across, but that was behind everybody. So Trent Keenan the other direction. Gets by one check, sets up behind, tries to tuck around. Mott's able to keep it out. Wow. Puck all the way down the other direction, and that'll be icing.
It was a nice play by Keenan. He did the old go behind the net, stop, wait for the goalie to slide to the far post and try to come back and stuff it short side. And he almost caught Mott, but Mott was able to get back. He had his stick paddle out there. And another athletic play by Mott.
Back over to Heinzelman. He gets spun around. Up to the blue line and forced out. Down into the Oxford end. Fisher pursues Saito. DeWitt checks him in the corner. Over to Fedorov, near side. And she'll direct it out to the middle. Heinzelman tried to get it back to DeWitt. Comes right back to him. Try the other side. Shortledge able to move it in. Knocked off the play, stays with it though. Tries to put it behind, goes off the outside of the net. Saito will bank it up. Cucinotta takes a whack at it, but it's forced out. Good play there from Heinzelman to prevent Oxford from a clean entry. Cucinotta at center ice. Gets by Fedorov, cuts to the middle. All the way over, was looking for Brown. Nothing he can do there. Shortledge from behind. Shortledge over to Kelly in the slot. Kelly settles it, takes the shot, goes wide. Brown from behind, back to Shortledge. Loses control, he's got to chase it down behind. Kelly picks it up. Kelly tries to tuck it around. Oxford's finally able to get it, move it out. It'll roll on edge down to the Kennett end where Hayes will retreat for it. Hayes thought that was going to go into the bench, catches the corner of the glass, and stays in. Up batted at the blue line, kept in momentarily. Henry will bank it up to the line and out where Colin Kelly, he'll direct in. Brody Ford with it. Long stretch pass there. In the feet of Neiman, takes a bounce off the boards and drifts out in front. Luckily, Mott was paying attention.
I'm not sure what happened there.
That would have been a nice play if it were in the offensive zone.
Oxford has a lot of letters on their jerseys. I think I've counted 2 captains and 3 alternate captains.
Puck in offsides. Cucinotta is able to kind of directed the line. Oxford kept it out momentarily. Up to Kelly at the red line. Can't do much with a bouncing puck. Saito steps in. Tries to cut to the middle, sits there. Fedorov knocked away from him. Cucinotta in the corner, he'll bounce it behind. Schillinger. Send it all the way up, was looking to get it to Kelly, but it was just out of his reach, so that'll be icing. Over 11 minutes remaining in this third period. Kennett still trails by 1. Puck tied up in skates. Linesman's just standing there, not wanting to do anything. Shot goes up and over into the corner. Rolled behind. They still battle for it. Oxford skates around. All the way across. Open shot there. That one goes up and over the net. Fedorov comes down to make a play on that. Rolls in towards the net. Mott came out to make a play on it. Fortunately, there were no Oxford players there because it sat there for a minute. Kelly in on the play. Rolls to Ford. He'll go behind the net. Bank it off the glass and out. Schillinger to Cucinotta. Play it in from there. DeWitt rolls it all the way around. Fisher goes back for Kelly. Tried to get it back to Fisher. He kicked at it. Kelly works behind the net. Ford works him off of it. They'll send it all the way down. And that will be icing.
I think we're getting a penalty. I think Ford got a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. I think he was yelling at the ref that it should have been an offside, and I think the ref had enough of what he was saying. And
so Ford will sit for 2 minutes and will give Kennett a power play opportunity as they look to tie this game with just over 10 minutes remaining in this third period. Face-off goes up, splits the defense. Kelly's got a race. He's got Fedorov there. Ends up going down. I think Oxford was looking for a call. Nothing coming. Cucinotta look for some open ice. Gets past Madonna. Through center ice and in. All the way across. Was looking for Schillinger, but it kind of went between his legs. He couldn't get a stick on it. Colin Kelly gets back for it. Send it over for Shortledge. He'll gain the red line. In the zone. Down to the corner. It's around the referee, stays with it. As Colin Kelly tries to get it back to him, but pushed all the way up the boards. Schillinger tries to race over, but he can't keep it in the zone and has to pick it up in the neutral. Cucinotta gains the blue line, puts on the brakes, skates down low. Again, looks, rolls it up for Fisher. Fisher back to Cucinotta. Nate goes all the way across for Colin. Colin will roll it all the way on this side. Fisher's got to race over to get to it. Him and Fedorov come together. Kept in the zone, but then Oxford gets it, and they'll send it all the way down. 20 seconds remaining on the Kennett man advantage. Fisher, Cucinotta, he'll go, was looking to get it to DeWitt, but that was read by Oxford and cut off. Final few seconds. Cucinotta comes in. Brody Ford is out of the box. We're back to 5 aside. Keenan checks Cucinotta. Tries to roll it up. It does make its way out. Kelly's got to wait for them to get out of the zone. So he'll skate back. Goes all the way across. That's cut off. Skated in. Shot there, Malin Mott. He'll make that save. This one will go the length of the ice. Goes in on net, so no icing. Zach will bank it out to the middle. Ford picks it up there, and he'll dump it in deep. Heintzelman and Ford to come together. Ford again leaned on. He's able to keep it down low. Nate Kelly will chip it up. Up to the blue line, shot in on net. Mott kicks out, makes that save. Up to the blue line, Saito keeps it in. Chopped away from Keenan, DeWitt's there. Once again, forced down low. Heinzelman rolls it up the board to Vitale. Kind of rolled past Nick. Oxford still in the zone. Nate Kelly tries to use the board, but good keep there once again by Oxford. Shot goes up into the netting and out of play.
It's a disappointing power play from Kennett. They had the puck a lot, but I don't think they really generated any scoring chances there. That was a huge, huge kill from Oxford at this point in the game.
So time is starting to become a factor. We're now down to 6 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in this third period. Oxford keeps it in the zone. Fedorov works at it. Chuck goes all the way through, doesn't get anything really on net. Cut off there in the middle. Shortledge gets it to Cucinotta. He's got to step. He's got to catch up to it. Cuts to the middle. Ford makes a great defensive play all the way back up. Hayes into the middle. Fisher settles it. Gets the shot, but it goes wide in the corner. Ford just whacks it the full length of the ice for icing. Woo! That was a lot.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Ford. I thought Cucinotta had a step on him, but Ford has such a long reach. He covers a lot of ice. Then another rebound try. They pucked behind the net and they centered it to Shortledge, and he took a swipe at it, but one of the Oxford players lifted his stick at the last second. So good defense from Oxford.
Fisher gets it to Hayes. Hayes gets the shot, and it goes in! Finds the 5-hole, and Kennett ties it up. Kind of an off-speed shot there.
Well, that was a nice play by Matthew Hayes. I think Fisher won the draw. Back to Hayes. He delayed just a little bit, let the screen get set up. Cucinotta set it, deflected it, 5-hole for goal. Nate Cucinotta's giving it to Hayes on the bench, telling him what a great shot that was, and it was. So I don't know if timeout Oxford here or timeout Kennett.
So with 6:06 to go in this third period, we are all knotted up at 2. So I think it's without really saying that the next goal is going to be huge in either direction.
Yeah, as we've seen with high school games, though, there's huge momentum swings, and you never know what's going to happen. So I agree with you, but
yeah,
the next goal, I wouldn't say it's over, but it's a huge advantage to whoever does. Now, I do believe, I might be getting ahead of myself here, but I do believe for playoff overtime rules, it's, I think it's full period, 4-on-4. Whoever scores first wins, but I also thought they resurfaced the ice after the second period, so forget what I just said there.
So they'll come back out to center ice, and with this game knotted at 2, continue on. Heinzelman chips it up to the middle. That's cut off by Ford. He looks to cut in, knocked down with a glove, bouncing puck. Ends up in the corner, bodies all over the place. Whack at it, we'll see who comes away with it. Fisher, down low. Goes up to Cucinotta, he'll skate out. Rink wide, has Shortledge. Keith tries to cut in the middle, has this opportunity, rolls in on net. And we get a penalty.
I don't think Oxford likes that call. I don't know if I would call that a slash. Well, that was on Shortledge. That's my kid who had the breakaway, but I wouldn't have called that. But
yeah, I didn't see anything that warranted a penalty myself. But
I think Oxford has a legitimate gripe here.
So So 5:36 to go in this third period. Game tied at 2. Kennett goes to the man advantage. Up to the point, Kelly puts it back down for Schillinger. Kennett looks to get set up. Rolls to Shortledge behind. He struggled with it, but puts it right back. It goes up to Kelly once again at the blue line. Schillinger to Kelly. All the way across to Cucinotta. He's got to reach behind him to get it set up. He has it. He'll skate towards the middle. Put it towards net. Kick save there. Step in. Second opportunity, but knocked away from Kelly. Oxford will get it, and they'll clear it the length of the ice. Cucinotta turns up ice and turns on the Jets. Across the blue line. Cuts to the middle. Sends it over to Colin. Colin will skate down low. He's checked there by Ford. Fisher comes in to support. Halfway through the man advantage. Shortledge comes in. He gets put in the boards by Keenan. Fisher comes away with it. He tries to make the move. Keenan has it. He'll backhand it up. That gets by Hayes. It'll go all the way down. Mott comes way out to set that up for Hayes. Bank it ahead for Kelly. Goes off his stick. Ford's there. Ford's able to send it all the way down once again. Mott settles it for Schillinger. He'll throw on the brakes from behind and skate out to Shortledge. Over to Fisher. Fisher will cut to the middle. Team's got to wait for him. Now they're on sides. Fisher dropped it back for Shortledge. Leaves it there for Kelly. Shortledge down low, near corner. Goes all the way up, tried to get it to Hayes, but he couldn't settle that. Hayes moves it all the way over near side. Kelly gets to it. Penalty has expired. Shortledge back for Colin. Goes up to the line, but goes out because Saito was out of the box. Backhanded in, got caught up in Ford's skate. He was able to move it just in time. Through center ice. Donna forced behind. He's ridden off the play. Puck sits there. Oxford goes right up into the middle. Saito's got it. He takes the shot, hits a body in front. Bouncing puck. Fisher moves it up to the line, but not out. Put pressure on Saito. He keeps it in. Another puck to the middle, hits a body. Saito just directed to the corner.
Kennett's running around here, Ed. Oh, good. I got that cleared.
Puck will go to the length of the ice, and that'll be icing. 2:48 to go in this third period. Game tied at 2.
Well, for your out-of-town scoreboard, Ed, the Kennett Middle School team is scheduled to start at 8 p.m. at Iceline in their first round of their playoffs. But the game before them, I'm told, went into double overtime, so they're in a delay right now. So they probably won't get started till 8:30 or so. We have a few 8th graders coming up next year at probably, I don't know, 3 or 4, and we have a couple good players coming up, so should be a good addition to the team here next year.
Face-off sits and skates. Fedorov has it, goes up the side of the line. He puts it towards the net, gets deflected, but Mott stays with it. DeWitt pulls it off the wall, and he'll skate down. Chip it in, and he'll chase it himself. With Saito. Puck rolls along the far side. Fedorov was there. Second opportunity, got it up the line, but kept in by Cucinotta. Steps in. Cucinotta takes the shot, and it goes wide. Henry steps in, puts it towards the net, didn't get much on that. DeWitt has it, taught up and skates. They still work for it, up to the line. Schillinger keeps it and takes the shot. That goes wide. Bounces towards the front. Puck drifts in the net and in. I think that went off an Oxford player and in the net.
I think that was Vitale that put that in. I don't know if you hit the replay button, but 15 Vitale's in front. Shot by Schillinger. Off the back wall. Vitale's down. Swipes at it. think that's Nick Vitale. He went through the Sully line first, so.
So with just over 2 minutes to go here in this third period, Kennett takes their first lead of the game.
Huge goal by Kennett.
Come out the center ice. Puck sits there, and Fisher stays with it, and he'll chop at it and get it into the Oxford end and chase it himself. Shortledge pulls it off the wall, goes all the way across. He gets a stick to keep it in. Shortledge goes across to Fisher. He had Fedorov behind him. The other direction. Madonna with speed.
Oxford's pulling their goalie, Ed. We got an empty net on this far side here.
Puck comes out to the blue line. Fedorov has it there. Fishers works on her. Tries to get it. Gets to Kelly. Kelly can't get to it. Bounces to the line. Shortledge takes a swing at it. It bounces up and over and behind. Empty net for Oxford. Ford skates through center ice and in. Far side looks, he's got Saito over there. Puck rolls right to the middle, sits there for a minute. They battle for it. Shot goes through the net. Mott makes the initial save. Puck tries to clear it out, hits an Oxford player. Tries to step to the middle. Puck sits there. DeWitt able to clear the zone. We're down to the final minute of play in this one. Ford steps through center ice. He's checked there by DeWitt. It goes in. Hayes is going to race back for it. He gets to it, goes up, and it goes up and out of play.
I don't know what you do here if you're Kennett. I don't know if you call timeout to rest your players. I think Coach Cucinato's calling a timeout. The refs aren't looking at him.
So timeout for Kennett as they're going to rest their players. And look to put their...
I don't know why they're not letting him call timeout here.
So, yeah, I'm not sure myself, but up to the line. Saito goes all the way across for Ford. He's got to knock that down. Puts it towards the net. Big save there for Mott. Gets by. DeWitt's first one to it. It gets up and clears the zone. Racing back to get it is Saito. He moves it up. Shortledge has it caught up. Takes the shot there from the blue line, but it's deflected into the corner. Down to 20 seconds remaining. Saito over there. He gets by him. Ford will skate it up. He gets rubbed along the boards. Puck sits and skates, finally drifts up. Hayes gets to it, and he'll send it all the way down. Shortledge takes the empty net shot and scores. Shortledge with the empty netter with just 5 seconds remaining. Kennett takes the 4-2 lead, and they will win Game 1 of the playoffs. Put the 5 seconds back on my clock.
Well, Ed, after the first period, I didn't think this is what the final score was going to be. Kennett looked like they had no life and were dead in the water, and they rallied, and what a nice comeback.
Face-off goes down. Cucinato will come out. They'll whack around to the puck. Final seconds tick away, and that ends Game 1 of the playoffs. Little after curricular. Zach goes skating all the way down. He was looking to get tied up in this.
I think some bad sportsmanship here from Oxford. I don't really know what caused that, but there's really no reason for that. Looks like the Oxford coach is going after the Kennett bench here.
Oh. So little extracurricular after this one. Wait to see if anything comes about from this. Youth sports.
I don't really know what started that.
Yeah, I mean,
I know it's frustrating for Oxford, but I don't know what happened the last 10 seconds that would spark that reaction from the players or the coaches.
I'm sure there was certain things from the players, like by and as they kind of move each other on, but to go to that point, and there we would have, I think it was the over, because we talked about the over-under with Kennett player or students that attended, and I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So did we decide on 4.5 or 5.5 is the line?
Yeah, I think 3.5 was the over-under, so it was definitely the over. So
I think they're holding Kennett here on the bench while Oxford goes to the locker room, but all the players are lingering around. They're not going in their locker room. They're standing outside, and the locker rooms are close to each other, so I think the referee's going to skate over there and tell them to get in their room.
yeah. So our next game now is tomorrow evening at 9 p.m., which will be the Division II championship game against the winner of the game that will be following us. That is between Sun Valley and Harriton. So one of those two teams will advance, and Kennett will face them tomorrow night at 9 p.m. So any of our Kennett faithful, we encourage you to come out here in person and cheer on your Blue Demons. And if you can't make it up here to the Skatium, then join us on our broadcast, because we will be back here doing this again tomorrow night. So with that, we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Again, a special thanks for Mr. Mott running the camera as always. With Swith and Shortledge, I'm Ed Henry. Have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow.